Cash Flow Crew, what's going on? All right, guys, to make a long story kind of short, this morning I messed up. It wasn't with a house, but with wife. We got into it this morning. Stress levels have just been super high because what's been going on is that a lot of our deals just keep getting pushed back further and further and further. The 2 rental properties that we have under contract to be sold, which there's just a lot of money involved with that got pushed back again. We were supposed to close both of those properties out at the beginning of this week, but now it looks like we won't close them until the end of the upcoming week, and we're still not even 100% sure. And the lender that the buyer is dealing with is just terribly slow, like everything that they've been doing. But even in that situation, and my sister is handling those 2 properties, she kind of warned me that she had dealt with this lender before or knew about the lender, and they're just known for being slow. But this morning, what we got into it about was the deal that my wife is working on, and I've been kind of cryptic about what that whole situation is. But she's selling the house that we live in now. It's a live-in investment property that we bought super cheap, and now we're at the point in the market where we can sell it and just make a bunch of money on it. But where the issue comes in is the way that these contracts have to be written. We've got some repairs that have to be done and written in the contract with addendums and all this extra stuff that realtors have to do. And it's not something that I'm used to doing. When I write contracts, they're usually 1-page contracts that we get sent off and the thing is done in a few days. But in this situation where we thought we weren't going to have to do repairs and that we could just put money aside in what they call escrow for them to collect a check at the end of the thing, and they just do the repairs themselves, it turns out that we can't do it with this lender. So we're going to have to go ahead and make all of those repairs. But the way that it has to be written in order for us to not be liable for a bunch of different things, it has to be really precise. So it came down to the point where she's frustrated, I'm frustrated, I don't know what to do. I've got morning runs that I need to go and do just to keep business going. And I just said, you know what, I don't really want to deal with this right now, so I'm out. And I went out and did my runs. But in the end, and it's almost immediately after I said, I thought about it, and I just realized that I was completely in the wrong because she's trying so hard, and she really is making us a lot of money on this deal. So I had to come right back and apologize and tell her that I was really just sorry for the way that I reacted to the stress, I guess. And it wasn't even like a big argument or a big blowout or anything like that to where we would just go to sleep angry. My wife is 100% my world, my driving force. So when she's even slightly just a bit unhappy, it makes me feel bad. So what I'm gonna do now is go into the store, buy one of her favorite wines. I know she's a red Moscato drinker. I don't know anything about them. Just something that she likes to drink, relax, and not getting her too much. I'm actually outside of Kroger, so it's not anything expensive that I'm going for, just a good sip of wine that maybe we can both sit back and enjoy while we figure this thing out. So when it comes to day ones, wife really has been there since day one, like back in, I think it might have been around 07, 08, when I bought my first house. She was there. So got to make sure that she stays happy. So about to get this wine, go back to the house. We're going to figure this thing out. I'll talk to you guys about some of these contract issues, and we'll just keep it going from there. Yeah, so I don't really know anything about wine, but I do know she's a Moscato drinker, and we're gonna pick one of those out. I'm not a big wine drinker, but if she has it around, then I'm 100% about to drink it. But we're gonna pick one of these out. I think it's the San Antonio that she likes. I picked that one up for her before. But I might try another. She just likes sweet reds, sweet red Moscato. So I know she's got at least one of those at the house already. So I'll see if I can find another one. She likes sangria too, so they've got this fresh citrus sangria up here that I might try. Let's see if she wants to sip on that. That's crazy. This is the first time I've seen Bud Light Orange. I hadn't had a beer in a while, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick one of those up too, just because I see it. All right, guys, so Lisa just got home, and my wine surprise got completely screwed up because I didn't surprise her for one. She came through the door, saw the wine, and there was no big surprise factor, which wasn't a bunch anyway, but just something I wanted to do to make her a little bit more happy. We started arguing again about a big document that she sent me that I didn't see, so we're going to have to talk about that. And she's going to have to drink this wine so she can calm down. Okay, you're going to have to explain what it is I'm supposed to be doing because I still don't know what you and Michelle are talking about when it comes to this stuff.
The inspection report has been sent.
You should probably turn that off. I can't hear past the water.
The inspection report has been sent. It's about 69 pages.
Okay, you don't have to look at me like that with your hand on your hip.
Yes, I do. Because I told you that I sent that I needed you to be reviewing it while I was gone.
It's 60. Okay, well, what's going on in all of this stuff? Because from what I was understanding, I just had to look at the appraisal report.
No, you have to do the inspection as well. The inspection report has been sent. You need to go through there, pull from the list of repairs that we are willing to cover. If we're going to cover everything, we just need to somehow put in there, we're going to cover everything, but be specific in what we're going to cover. That is for the appraisal. With appraisal, we have to do. That's what we're required to do. So we got to do that. As far as the inspection, pull through, be specific of what we're going to cover, so I can send it back to her, and we can move forward with closing. The
inspection report is the 69-page document.
That is correct.
That I never saw before.
I sent it to your email. Don't you check your email?
I'm talking about before today.
We haven't seen it before today. Based on what they sent us from when a previous contractor came out, they gave us a list of stuff that had to be done. But now the actual report is in detail of what we have to do.
You don't have to say detail to me like that.
Out my face.
Okay, we're going to have to sit down and look through it together because I don't know. Are you going to sit down and look at it with me?
No, right
now. Man, I bought you wine. I was about to buy you KFC, but you didn't answer your phone, so I ate all that.
Excuse me?
Give you a shout back. I was in a bad area earlier and my phone shut down, but
Okay.
I wasn't real sure if we had pretty much resolved the direction you guys were heading in, so I just want to follow back up with you.
Okay, yeah. As I was texting you when we lost connection, the inspection report's been sent. So it's about 69 pages worth of stuff that we're gonna go through and kind of pull from what we're willing to cover, aside from the appraisal, because we know we have to cover that. But as far as the inspection, pull from what we're willing to cover. If it's everything, just kind of be specific in all the things we're covering. If it's a minimal amount, then do that. But I want to go ahead and get this situated and at least send her something in writing. So I was
That sounds good. Right.
right. Okay.
Right.
All right. Well, we got it pulled up. We're gonna go through it, type it up, send it to you before we send it to her.
All right, guys. So we're about to sit down now and look through this report. There's 69 pages that she just sent me that I didn't know anything about, and I guess she thought I was supposed to know what she was talking about. I guess we just have to see how we're going to word it. So we're going to go through the full report.
Just like you said, the report just came in, so we have to pull from it and be a little bit more specific as to what we're going to cover with the repairs and what we're not. If we're going to cover everything, then we're going to cover everything and just be specific in what we're going to cover. And that is on the inspection side as well as the lender required repairs. So we're at the brink almost of closing, so this is where the frustration is setting in, but we can't let that get the best of us. We're down to the repairs that are required of us, and as far as the inspection is concerned, what we're willing to cover to go ahead and get done, and then once the appraiser comes back out, we can go ahead and move this thing forward to closing.
we're going to walk through some of the things that the bank said that we have to have done before we can go ahead and get the house sold. Alicia has the list with the lender required repairs on it. So we're just going to go through some of the major stuff that we have to have done. All right, we'll start with the back. The deck, and we never really just used the deck, have we? We used it maybe a couple times, but it's time for the deck to be redone. We have rotten wood that has to be replaced, and it has to be it has to be either painted or stained. Take a look at some of the windows. Quite a bit of the trim around the windows have to be replaced and painted because it's starting to rot out in some areas. Like right there, that's all rotten wood, so we got to get that replaced and taken care of. I'm gonna zoom in up here on what they call the soffit and fascia board. Around the soffit and fascia in a bunch of different areas, we have to get some of this rotten wood replaced. What else does the list talk about?
A lot of the gutters are rusted. They're gonna have to be replaced, full of stuff.
Yeah, so the gutters all the way around, we haven't had those replaced. Especially around some of these areas. We really should have had these fixed a long time ago. On the porch, this railing on the left side, it's got some rotten wood that has to be replaced, especially around the bottom where it's been water damage. So replaced and painted out here. All right, we're outside of the garage, and although it's working, we have to have the electrical box updated. So the breaker box has to be updated. So we're gonna take this one out and put a new one in up to code. Even though this one works and perfectly fine to live with it, but we still have to have the entire thing updated just to a newer system. In the kitchen, one of the things that they want us to do is get this stovetop, this range replaced. And this is the original range that was in the house. When I bought it, I just didn't get it upgraded because we had 3 good working ranges, and that was all we really needed to cook until it got to the point where we started doing some of our meal plans, and then we had a lot more cooking to do. But it is time to go ahead and get that updated, as well as we have to get a new dishwashing disposal put in there because it's making the plumbing, it's backing up the plumbing and making the water drain slow. And just within the last, maybe a few weeks ago, the drainage has gotten a bit worse. So you can see the water in there won't drain right. So it's gonna take a while for that to get out. And that's something else that we probably should have done a while back. All right, I'm going upstairs in the attic now. And for the most part, this is where the majority of our money is going to be spent on the stuff that we have to have done up here. But we have to get the entire HVAC system more or less redone. It's hot up here. All right, so to start with, we have to reroute these lines because they are right over the entrance to the attic. Our furnace setup has to be completely redone. This is the only furnace that we don't have to replace, but we have to replace this furnace, and we also have to replace both of these, which are called the coils, and that's because they are old and leaking water. And you can see the water is dripping down into this pan and then draining out super slow. So we got to get that taken care of. Alright guys, I just broke a sweat just that quick up there in that attic, but that's the end of the video. We've got those repairs that have to be done as well as a few others, but we're going to go ahead and get that knocked out and try to get this thing sold as quick as possible.
Like I said, we're nearing the end. We don't need all the required repairs to be done. We can move forward to closing.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that closing. If you're new to the page, be sure to subscribe. Make sure you throw us a thumbs up and share it, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.